All right, guys, let's go through page 321 and correct these. Looking at that first chart, number of inches per number of yards. So we're just doing, again, we're working with rates, and that's what we've been working with on this chapter. So in what we're given is in 2 yards, there's 72 inches. Now we could take and divide that. Again, if you look in the back of your book, that it gives you these conversions, but the number of inches in 1 yard, we know there's 3 feet in a yard and there's 12 inches in a foot. So number of inches, you have 36 inches per yard. So that's our unit, okay? So now we just have to multiply. So we have to take 9, okay? And you're going to take 9 and you're going to multiply that times 36. And I hope you're doing this stuff. We really need to work on that long division and multiplication, sorry. But take in charge of your own learning. Work this stuff out. Show your work on the page. So we have 324 inches in 3 yards. Okay, 12 times 36 is 432 inches. Now we're given the inches and we need to convert them into yards. So you need to take your 540 and divide it by 36. And you're going to find that that is 15. Ooh, I got big. 15 yards. The final question then, how many inches are in 329 yards? You need to take your 329 and multiply that times 36. So if you do that, you're going to find 11,844. Now, guys, I can't stress this enough. Anybody that's just taken and either using a calculator or if you're waiting for me to go through this, through the video, you are not taking charge of your own learning and you're not learning it. You're just copying down numbers. And we've talked about this, like looking at your neighbor's sheet and copying. I hope you're taking charge. I hope you're working through these problems. Everybody in the class needs to work and practice that multiplication or that long division. So please, please, please work on that. For this one, you have to draw this out. And I want you to, if you don't know how to draw this yet, if you can't draw this out without looking at it, okay, your gallon, I'm not going to draw the whole thing by any means. Your quarts, I'll just put the quarts. Pints and cups, I'm not going to put in. Okay, if you can't just draw this out from memory, you need to go back, and I'm not sure what page it's on, you'll be able to find it, but you should be able to draw this out from memory, okay? And that will help you with all of these problems. It might be able to surprise mom or dad if they're baking and you know how many gallons or quarts or cups, all of the conversion rates. So in 7 gallons, how many quarts? Well, we have 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So how many would we have in 7 gallons? 7 times 4 is, we'd have 28 quarts in 7 gallons. 3 quarts equals how many pints? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There would be 6 pints in 3 quarts. And those Q's are your quarts, 3 pints, 2 in each one. 8 pints is 16 cups. There's 2 cups in each pint. Remember, you should have 2 C's inside. So 8 times 2 is 16. Now we're going to convert the other way. So in 25 quarts, how many gallons would you have? Well, 25, if we divide 25 by 4, because there's 4 quarts in 1 gallon, so 25 divided by 4, you would get 6 full gallons, and you would have 1 quart left over. 6 times 4 is 24. It would leave you with 1 more. So now 14 cups. How many quarts would you have? Well, again, you're going to take 14, you can divide that by 4, because in each quart you have 4 cups. Okay, so we take 14, we divide it by 4, you're going to get 3 quarts, and you're going to have 1 pint left over. Find the solution to each one. Again, we're figuring out which way we're going to go. You would have negative 150. For these guys, whatever you do, you need to stay within, like I've said before, like in the fact family. So at 30 and 1, it's either going to be 90 or it's going to be 150. I mean, you have to stay with those two, have to relate somehow. So it can't be just some random number. 75 plus what is going to give you 20? Well, it's got to be a negative number. It's going to be negative 55. So if you subtracted 75 and 20, you would get 55. But so you, again, stay within that family. 16 plus a negative 16 gives you 0. This one, we have C plus negative 61 gives you negative 97 is going to be a negative 36. Okay. Which one of the names below is not a name for 3 and 1600ths? Fill in the circle. You just have to work these. You have to work all of these problems and put those answers in. Correct answer should be right here. C. Says add blocks to the bag so that it is likely that Arjun will pick a C block without looking. Okay, it doesn't matter what you do so much as you add. It has to be. It is likely. So not just it is likely that you'll pull a C. It doesn't. I don't care how many. You have to add more than 4 though. You should be adding C blocks, 4, 5, whatever, 6 of them, but you should be adding C. So it's likely, that's the key word there, that it's likely that you would pick a C without looking, just reaching in. These are a little more difficult, but we've done these. 10% of, remember, you change a percent to a decimal and multiply. Percent to a decimal and multiply. 10% of that is 52. 10% of 520. 10% of 180 would be 18. Okay, so 5% is half of 10%, so half of 18 is 9. These problems, they've given us these a lot with a 10%, and then they followed up with a 5%. 40% of what number is 4? 10%, or 10, 4 is 40% of 10. For these down here, you turning them into a fraction, putting 15 over 30, and remember that's a division problem. And if you take 15 and divide it by 30%, okay, you're going to get 50. We know that 15 is half of 30 anyway. But if you take, same here, you put 14 over 35, and these you could use a calculator for. If you take 14 and you divide it by 35 and hit your percent sign, you're going to find 40%. Again, I don't, oops, that's a bad 4. 40%. Okay, same down here, put your 38, and remember fractions are they're just that, a different way to write a division problem. 38. So 38 divided by 95%, 40%. So there you go, gang. There's page 321. Remember, take charge of your own learning. Okay? Over and out.